Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 268, and the first vlog of what I am assuming is going to be a better year for all of us eventually. So welcome to 2021, guys. I hope you had a very safe New Year's. I officially did nothing. My wife and I kind of just hung out, and we were in bed by like 8:30, so I had no idea what happened at New Year's other than the fact that I was sound asleep with a bed full of cats. So here's the deal. Today I want to do a few things. The first thing I want to do is give you an update on Tiege Hanley, kind of looking back, year in review. I also want to tell you about next week's vlog, because next week's vlog in terms of business is probably, it's hard to say what's like the most important thing to pay attention to in terms of your business and your growth and your ability to actually scale. But I'm going to say that next week's vlog is going to be one of the most important vlogs that we've done. It is all about data and why data is going to be your best friend, but it also can be your biggest nemesis if you don't know how to analyze it, you don't know what you're looking at, or if you're not collecting the right stuff. Data has been something that we have struggled with for Tiege Hanley for years. But this year, last year, we finally really started to get a handle on it. And it has made one of the biggest differences in sort of where we're going as a company and how we're going to get there. Because until you know how your data actually, or how to analyze your data and how to collect it and what you're looking at, that is really the only way that you're going to be able to make educated decisions on how to spend money, how to grow your business, and how to ultimately be successful. But data, if you don't have it, can also be one of the things that absolutely bankrupts your business. And so next week, guys, you got to make sure you tune in, all right? So I guess I just did the second thing first. All right, the other thing I want to tell you is a little bit about Tiege Hanley as a company last year. We had a great year. Is it as good as we wanted? No. But all things considered, in terms of the unforeseen, that whole like COVID thing, we did well. We grew 20% this past year. 99.999999999% of companies out there, if they saw 20% growth any year, they'd be like, yeah, high five and knuckle bumping, being like, yeah, daddy, we are crushing it. Tiege Hanley, not so much. Yes, it's good that we grew, but it is not. We have really high expectations of where we want to get to and when we want to get there. And so for us to get to where we want to in terms of like promised land, which I don't even know what the promised land is. I just know that it's actually, I do know where the promised land is, and I'm not going to divulge exactly what that annual gross revenue is, but there's a number, right, that we are striving for. And in order to get there in a reasonable amount of time, we need to do X number of, percentage growth each and every year. This year, we fell short of what our target was. And so even though it was great, even though we hit 20%, it was still hard. But as a company as a whole, we feel incredibly fortunate, incredibly thankful that we were able to not only survive this past year, because there are a lot of businesses, honestly, that haven't. And so even though we're like kind of like back end, like being like, damn, it's okay, we didn't do as good as we want to, we're still in business. And we still kicked a whole lot of ass, and we figured a lot of things out. This year, I think if you are a business and you get through this year, like, congratulations. Like, you are going to have, you're going to be so much better as an entrepreneur, as a business, getting through and dealing with what you had to deal with this year moving forward. Because there was like, and that's the thing, like, nobody foresaw this whole year happening the way that it did, right? But the fact that we were able to give each and every employee that we have a bonus was an amazing thing that Tiege Hanley was incredibly thankful for. This year we gave a lot of money away to charities and different organizations. I'm not going to get into the specifics or the dollar amounts, but the one thing I just would like to touch on, sometimes you've got to do things that are right as opposed to what is going to benefit your bottom line. And at Tiege Hanley, one of our big things is helping the community, helping society be better. Not just helping you be handsome, but Even if you're not a Tiege Hanley customer, we feel that we are in an incredibly fortunate position. And so it's our job not only to help ourselves as a company, help our employees, help you guys as a customer, but also just to help the community and society wherever we can. And so, different initiatives. We gave a bunch of money away to Skin Cancer Foundation. We gave a bunch of hand sanitizer away, like 60,000, or it was a lot of money worth of hand sanitizer away to help during that time. During the holiday season, you're giving away toys and doing things like that. Anyway, all of that to say that Tiege Hanley as a company is very proud that not only can we be a profitable business, but we also can make a difference in the world and our society. And so for us, that's important, but it's not something that we broadcast. It's not like our main messaging of all of our advertising, like, hey, we did this, so you should buy us. It's more of something that you just do to build, not only like brand equity with the community, but also just to let your employees know that it's important, it's a priority. And also, it helps with the culture of the business. It is all about culture at Tiege Hanley. It's also about helping you be handsome. But now what I would like to do, gentlemen, is talk a little bit about manufacturing a product, all right? A lot of you guys have ideas out there for, hey, I want to start this business that sells, glasses or, key rings, or maybe it's leather goods and wallets like I have recently actually manufactured. These are two new products that I have recently manufactured. I actually just got these in yesterday from China, all right? They are two leather wallets, right? A small, like, minimal leather wallet, right? Super sick and sleek and sexy. It's for enemy. And then also sort of a minimal, like, regular wallet as well, right? Super high quality, but the process that it took me in order to get here from, like, here is kind of complex. And so right now, what I'd like to do is actually go over sort of the steps that I took in order to land on an amazing product that I'm proud to actually sell. So you want to start a business that actually sells a product, but you're like, yo, where do I even start in terms of the manufacturing? Well, one place that I have gotten a little bit more familiar with over the course of the past few years is the website Alibaba. Alibaba is essentially like Amazon for getting shit made in China. Now, China gets a bad rap, right? If you hear like made in China, you think, oh, it's crappy quality. Well, the truth is that it's only crappy quality if you use crappy ingredients. China is an amazing resource that is going to be able to manufacture or make products for you at a ridiculously less expensive price than you're going to be able to do it domestically oftentimes. China is amazing at assembling things at a very affordable price, doing it quickly and very accurately. And so if you are somebody that is looking to start a business that actually sells something like glasses or, jackets or apparel or whatever it is, you can just go on Alibaba and do a little search. Do a search for, wallets or glasses or whatever you're looking for. And what you're going to find is a crap ton of different manufacturers that actually make some variety of whatever you're trying to build. Or maybe you're into hairbrushes or nose hair trimmers or whatever. Like, you can find literally like everything and anything there. And so what happens, you contact them, and then typically the way that it works, you send them an email, and then they're going to say, yes, we will send you a sample. This is how much it's going to cost. Now, unfortunately, it's not like free. They're not just going to like send you a sample, right? You've got to buy it. But the good thing is that you can get this sample, you can check it out. If it's good, you can just say, yes, let's go with this. Let's put my logo on it. Let's work on the box, and they can send it. No modifications. But if the product you get isn't quite up to speed, you can always go with a different vendor, or you can ask them to make modifications and changes. All right, so when I decided, hey, I want to sell wallets. I want to sell a minimal, like, slim wallet. I also want to do some, like, sleek, like, sexy, like, wallet, but I don't want it to be too big. I'm not really sure exactly what I want it to look like, but I just know that I'm interested in selling it. And so what I did, I went on Alibaba, and I started looking. All right, slim wallets. I got sent all these different like versions. I'm like, yeah, they're kind of cool, whatever, right? So the first manufacturer, I got 3 samples of wallets, all right? And I was like, all right, it's kind of cool. They actually stamped like my logo on it and everything. And I was looking at it. I'm like, it just doesn't feel like super like high quality. I want it to be a high quality product. I want to be proud to sell it. Got this wallet. I'm like, man, it's like okay. The size is decent, but it just didn't feel as good as I wanted it to. And so then they're like, yo, here's another one, right? This thing was gigantic. And I'm like, it's big, but it's too big. And once again, the leather, the quality just wasn't there. Now, in terms of the construction, fine. But in terms of the actual materials they're using to make it, I was not 100% in love with it. And so I went back and forth with the manufacturers a few different times. So for a few months, literally, it's a back and forth process, right? You're testing, you're trying, they're making, they're sending, and you're analyzing. But at the end of the day, if you are not 100% satisfied with what you find, you can always, because China is incredibly good at copying things, you can always go to the store, find something, send it to them and say, this is exactly what I'm looking for in terms of size, in terms of details, in terms of leather quality and finish, right? And so that ultimately is what I did. Because I went back and forth a few different times, it was literally like 3 times. At this point, it was like 4 months. I just wasn't getting to where I needed to be. And so what I ended up doing was going to the mall and looking around. I'm like, okay, I am going to go find my 2 favorite wallets. And so I did. I found 2 designs that I absolutely love. This design in the store that I got it from was like $275. This design was close to literally $350. Now, they were like designer, they were high-end, but they were the right thing that I was looking for in terms of leather quality and also size and dimension. So I bought them and sent them to the manufacturer. I said, can you duplicate this? And the answer was yes. Bang, production sample, right? They send it, you test it, you look at it, you feel it, you wear it, and then you say yes, you say no, you tweak it, you modify it, whatever. They sent me this, I said it's perfect, and I moved forward with the order. And so now the product that I am selling is a super high quality product, incredible leather, craftsmanship, construction, and literally the quality that I made with these are just as high as the $250, $300 ones that I actually bought at the high-end retailer, except you're paying for a big brand name. And so anyway, that is the story. That is how essentially you can actually go and manufacture products. Like I said, whether or not it is hairbrushes, whether or not it is wallets, whether or not it is jackets or apparel or whatever. Alibaba in China is an incredible resource, and it is something that has allowed a lot of young entrepreneurs to actually start businesses that don't have any experience in like manufacturing or sourcing. In my opinion, it's an incredible thing to check out if you are somebody who is interested in starting a business. Speaking of starting a business, now what I'd like to do is get to a few of your amazing business questions. So the first business question is a great one, and it is about passive income and investing. It's from our friend Elio Nassar. He says, although I'm currently an architecture student, which takes up most of my time, I'm continuously thinking about passive income and investments. However, I only have a few $100s on the side which I'm willing to invest. Can you explain how to start investing and where to start buying small stocks or shares? Yeah, so this is a great question, and congratulations, because you're much smarter than I was at your age. It is all about getting started early, and even if you've got a few $100s, I would highly recommend you figure it out. A product and a company that I have talked about and promoted a few different times is a company called Wealthfront. This isn't a promotion for Wealthfront. I'm just letting you know that Wealthfront is pretty cool, because what happens is you can open an account for literally like $500, and then Wealthfront does all of this stuff. Like you don't have to be an expert in picking stocks or anything. They basically have like a globally diversified portfolio of low-cost like index funds, which over time has been shown to really be one of the best ways to actually grow wealth. And so, Wealthfront is one of those things that I would highly recommend if you are new and just getting started with. That's an incredible resource. So personally, what I recommend is take or save up $500 and get started with Wealthfront. It's a great platform, and they allow it's kind of like a robo-advisor, but they have it so dialed in, and it's a reputable company. That's the other thing. A lot of times one of the issues, and the other benefit to that is actually I will link my Wealthfront account or link down below. And like I said, this isn't a promotion. I'm just letting you know that if you do go through that, up to like $5,000, your first $5,000, like zero management fee like ever. And the other beautiful thing about Wealthfront is that even like normal portfolios, like over like $5,000 or $10,000, I forget what the exact dollar amount is, the management fee is super small, super tiny. It's like 0.25% of your total portfolio. One of the downsides to going to like an advisory firm or somebody like, wealth manager is that they're going to typically have a little bit larger percentages in terms of their management fee, and you really need to be careful that you're not getting hit or charged every time they make a trade. And so if you are not the one that's going to be like picking the stocks, I would definitely sort of take the set it and forget it approach and allow that software and that system that they have built and tested over years and years and years to actually do what it does, which is grow your wealth. The next business question comes from our friend Matthew Culver. He said, would you ever consider opening a vegan/healthy lifestyle restaurant like a Whole Greens? I'm not sure what a Whole Greens is, but would I do restaurant? The answer is no, I wouldn't, because restaurants are hard. Restaurants are really hard right now if you're not actually able to be open. But, but that's not to say that it can't work and it won't work when all things being equal are like back to normal. I think that vegan, I think that, vegetarian, I think specialty restaurants like that in the right area can do incredibly well. Like if you're on the West Coast, like California, like that is kind of like the place to be. But here's one of the downsides of going to an area where there are a lot of other people that are doing similar things. There's obviously a market, but there's also a ton of competition, as opposed to going to an area that doesn't have a lot of vegan or vegetarian restaurants. You open something, make it kind of cool and hip. All of a sudden, like you're the place to be if somebody wants like vegan or vegetarian food. And so do I think it's a decent business? It could be. The downside to restaurants is that you have a ton of spoilage, right? And if you're not selling the product, you're not selling it through, you're going to waste a lot of money in inventory that just goes bad. And so restaurants are really hard, but is there a way to do it that's sort of like low risk and low overhead to start, like in a small location and then build and then grow? The answer is possibly. Perfect example. There's a company, I forget the name of the company, but they are at the farmer's market that is here like in Marietta on my square every week. And what they do is this woman makes all of this vegan food, right? She brings it to the market. It's all in these like big containers. They portion it out and then they sell it to you, right? She's got a kitchen somewhere where she makes it. She is the most busy place on like in the farmer's market. My wife has gotten some stuff there. It's good. Vegan and vegetarian food isn't necessarily my favorite, but it was definitely delicious. And so like she is a testament to, she kills it. Literally, she sells out what she brings every single week. And so is that a way for you to sort of test the market in sort of like a farmer's market type environment? And then if it's successful, you save your money and then possibly open like a small shop to operate out of. I don't know. I mean, I know that it's possible, but for me, I wouldn't invest in it because I'm not passionate or excited about that. But that doesn't mean that you can't make it amazing. Gentlemen, that is where I actually, let's get one more. The last business question, and here's the thing. If I did not get to your business question, there were quite a few on last vlog. Down in the comments, guys, start it with business question and ask your question again. Next week, when we're talking about sort of the data and that really important topic, if there's time, I'm definitely going to get to some of your business questions. And if I don't get to it, just keep like each vlog putting it. Eventually, I'm going to see it. I am definitely going to get to it. All right, this last question comes from our friend Garrett Huddock. He says, I'm in my freshman year of college and going to school for business. My ultimate goal is to start a men's hair company like P&P, natural, sexy hair products geared towards men. I just don't know where to start. This is a great question. I started Pete and Pedro with $3,000, just so you know. And the way that I did that is that I went to a lab that manufactured products and did like private labeling. Private labeling is an amazing way to start a business for very low overhead. Now, the one thing I need to tell you, because we talked about sort of like China and Alibaba, the benefit of it, the one thing I would not recommend, if you are going to be manufacturing something that you wear in terms of your skin or you consume, do not use China. I'm just saying, their standards are a little different. You definitely want to find a US-based manufacturer. And so for hair products, there are a ton of them out there. All you got to do is search like private label, manufacturing, and a lot of times the American ones, in terms of like labs like that, will actually send you samples without like actually charging you. And so you can find some products to sort of start with and then evolve as you grow. You can then sort of modify the formulas, change whatever you need to change, including like fragrance or scent or packaging. But that is a quick and easy way to sort of start the process. Now, everything else in terms of growing the business, marketing it, that's a whole nother animal and definitely more challenging. So maybe Right now, you find some products that you're interested, or you start sort of doing the research in terms of, how to sell it. Because at the end of the day, it is all about sales. That is the number one most challenging thing that a business is going to face, is figuring out how to market and sell your product. You could have the most amazing hair products in the world, most amazing wallets in the world, or skincare like Tiege Hanley, but if you can't market it, if you can't get that message out, you are never going to sell it, and the world is going to miss out on your amazing product, business idea, or whatever it is. You've got to figure out the marketing piece of the equation, and it's not just spend money on people on YouTube. That is absolutely a recipe for disaster and failure, but we're going to talk more about that next week. Gentlemen, we love you at Tiege Hanley more than our double monk strap shoes, and welcome to 2021. I have a sneaking suspicion that this year is definitely going to be better than last year, and I would like to officially start it with a big Alpha M Tiege Hanley knuckle bump. Gentlemen, we love you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.